to continue the series of the famous rabbis of yesteryear. Now, today I want to speak about, because it's going to be the Hilula, I believe, reported over on the 5th of Cheshvan, of Rabbi Shmuel Gorgi, Zechet Tzadik Libracha, great rabbi of his time. He passed away about 96 years of age, and the 5th of Cheshvan will mark the great rabbis Hilula. We've spoken about various rabbis from the famous Gorgi family. Seemingly it was a great, there was many rabbis that actually came from that place. And remember, Afghanistan, we actually recorded a video of the history of the Jewish community in Afghanistan. We only did about 3 or 4 weeks ago, if I recollect, so it's always a great pleasure to speak about the great rabbis of yesteryear, especially from those specific territories in of itself. Now, he was born, his father, I'll state it in Hebrew, what it says over here. Chacham Shmuel Gorgi nolad le'imo ulaviv Shlomo be'ir Hara'at Shvan Afghanistan. So he actually came from the area of Hara'at in Afghanistan, particularly a place that we've spoken about on various occasions before. Now, Mishpachat Gorgi, the family of Gorgi itself, they actually come from the Mashadi community, or as I say, Ma'anusei Mashad, Shishavu Liudatam, Afghanistan, V'zachta Shiatzta Menu Chachamim Rabim. This was a great family that would have many great wise people actually descending from them, respectively. Now, Chacham Shmuel Gorgi, Aval Le'ir Mirov, I hope I pronounced that correctly, or Marav, in Afghanistan. That's where he would actually come. The Sham, Hitparnes, Keshochet, Ubodek, Kumalamed, Tinokot. So he'd be an educator over there, teaching the youth inside the schools Torah. He would also work as a shochet, a kosher slaughterer, and a bodek also. Who asagam b'kniya umechira. He was also working in trade. He was buying and selling like many other people at that point in time. Shel Sifrei Kodesh. Well, he was dealing in the best commodities, you could say, Kodesh books, religious Jewish Judaic books in itself, respectively, I believe. תוך כדי המסחר בהם, היה לומד ורושם לעצמו חידושים פירושים ומובחרים שקרא והתחבבו עליו. He would write down various different teachings, let's just say, itself, and the workings, and so on and so forth. I think we've actually recorded over, if I'm not mistaken, about 3 or 4 videos of various different great rabbis from this specific family in itself. I think they were all related, various different, he would study and write down the various novels, let's just say, on Torah and commentaries that he read. He was very much into reading and checking and specifically delving into it. Let's say, I think these commentaries will form a book called the Minchat Shmuel. These commentaries that which you write. Perushim elu hem she'avu et ha-tashtit lesifro Minchat Shmuel. That would be his famous book, Minchat Shmuel. Shavu shilev gam liukutim mitoch k'shim sfarim shonim. V'gam mechudushav perushav ala Torah. Various different chidushim, teachings, let's just say, perushim, expoundations from the Torah. Now, I think nefsho evata la'alot l'eretz Yisrael. Nadar Shim Yishmerohu Hashem Yizke Oto Lalot L'Yisrael Yadfis Et Zviro K'minchat Toda. But it's fortunate at 19. So, but I think come the year 1912, he would actually go to Eretz Yisrael, and I think his books will get printed. His book will get printed at the end, respectively. Very, very interesting enough. Just to state that. So, 1912, we spoke about there was various stages of aliyot where people come from Afghanistan will end up in the land of Eretz Yisrael, and because he had the privilege of moving to Eretz Yisrael, like he said, he would print his books as like a Thanksgiving offering over here. And 1912, that was a year he would actually go and submit his book to the printers and end up in Eretz Yisrael. He passed away in the year 1929. The great rabbi did on the 5th of Cheshvan. It was respectively, and we can say this just using from our homey website. Anyone joining in live at the moment, we're doing a live video on the famous rabbi from Afghanistan. It happens to be the marking of his passing away, Rabbi Shmuel Gorgi, one of the great rabbis of his time. It says over here, just now looking at the afghanim.co.il website, that's actually in Israel. It talks about, relates over more with regards to how, I believe, according to Kia, was born in Harat in 1850. His Aviva Shlomo Gorgi. That's what it says over here. Oh, so his name was Shmuel Gorgi. His father's name was Shlomo Gorgi. Achiv shel Mordechai Gorgi. He was a brother of Mordechai Gorgi. Sheya aviv shel Mola Matitya Gorgi. Very interesting enough. So he was. So just to state over. So he was born in Harat. His father was Shlomo Gorgi, the brother of Mordechai Gorgi, who I think his father happened to be the famous Rabbi Matitya Gorgi, and also known as Mola. That was the title. And it's interesting, Shlomo and Mordechai's father was a famous Rabbi Avram Gorgi, really great families in itself. Maybe we'll speak about them in a minute. Also, while he was young, we talked about how he would move to Marab. We've already mentioned this, and he would work as a Shochet and a Mohel over there. Mohel is a rabbi that will perform circumcision. He loved Torah, Jewish books in of itself. He would gather and collect many of them. He would actually gather as many as 60 different Torah books in himself. And he loved reading books. As we said before, he loved reading, collecting, writing books, various different novelties. That's what I point out. I think it was in the year 1903, he would actually make a visit to the land. I think with the help of Shimon Chacham, who see et Sifra Minchat Shmuel. So it was with the help of Shimon Chacham he would actually do this. That was actually printed, I think, on the 8th of Sivan in Tafresh Samach Gimel. It was respectively, and it will be printed eventually in 1912. So it says to be a Tafresh. I think he was buried in Harot's Fim, if I'm not mistaken, and. I think quite near his burial plot is actually quite near Molat Matitya, the great rabbi in of itself, and really, really great rabbis. It was, and the Gorgi family itself were really great rabbanim of yes. So he was connected to Rabbi Matitya Gorgi with many of the great rabbis from the Gorgi rabbinic dynasty in of itself from Afghanistan. Let's say something about Rabbi Matitya for a minute, because we spoke about him before. He lived between 1842 to 1917. He was famous posek. He was a Parshan Mikra. He passed away 12 years before Rav Shmuel did, who we're speaking about today in today's special edition of it. And he was a posek. He was Parshan Mikra. He was a great rabbi over there. He actually moved himself, I think, Rabbi Matitya, in the year 1906 to Eretz Israel, to Jerusalem, respectively. And we can actually add more within regards to him. He was an educator over there. He had the title of Mullah over there. Remember, the family are from the Anusei Mashad in of itself. I think when he came to Jerusalem, Rabbi Matitya did, he moved to the Bukharian neighborhood. That's where the wealthy Bukharians, let's say, came about that time. They financed publications of books, especially some of the Afghanistani rabbis, respectively, over there at that point in time. He had, among his children include Rabbi Yosef Gorgi, and who was another great rabbi. If I'm not mistaken, there was also Rabbi Asher Gorgi in the family. The very, very great rabbis. And it's just, if you look back at the video we did when we explored the history of Afghanistani Jewry, it was breathtaking to hear it. Among his books, I think, included Tehilot David. This had various different drashot, sermons on the Book of Tehillim. There was Sefer Bet HaMikdash, which was on the Mishnah, I think, and Sefer Oneg LeShabbat, speaking about the Shabbat, the delight of Shabbat in of itself. I think there was books on the V'yim, and Sefer Oneg Shabbat, Bo Shlosha Chalekim, that was actually in 3 sections in of itself, 3 different volumes. HaSefer Yotzah LeOr B'Shlosh Modorot, I think in 3 generations, his books would come out, I think especially recently in the year 2010, it would come out over there, and very, very astounding. Much is actually chronicled over in many places within regards to Rabbi Matitya Gorgi, which I recommend everyone to actually research on him, so on and so forth. So he was another one of the great rabbis of Afghanistan in his time, from the Gorgi family, respectively. We can even speak about more over here. There's actually a lot chronicled over with regards to Rabbi Matitya Gorgi. There's another famous rabbi, I would believe they were also related, Rabbi Yosef Gorgi, another rabbi you spoke about before, who actually came from, I think he was a son of Rabbi Matitya Gorgi, respectively. He was born in the year 1869, passed away in 1937. So he passed away about 8 years after the rabbi we're speaking about today, the Rabbi Gorgi, who happens to be his Hilula here on the 5th of Cheshvan. Let's say something also within regards to Rabbi Yosef Gorgi as well, very much speaking on the topic of him in itself. He was born in 1869 in Harat also, and he would learn Torah under the auspices of his father, Rabbi Matitya, who was a rabbi of Harat, respectively. He was an expert with regards to Torah. He knew he was also a mohel, a rabbi that performed circumcision. He was a shochet, he was a chazan, also a cantor in the synagogue, and he was also working in trade. So it seemed like many of the Gorgi family family will really be learning and teaching the whole time, but also working in trade on different windows of time in himself. He also, many of the Afghanistani rabbis that we've learned about on many occasions before, yearned to go to Eretz Yisrael. I think in 1903 he would go there. I think also he would embark, and many of the Jewish people there. I think in 1911, I think was after his father made Aliyah to Eretz Yisrael, he went, Rabbi Yosef Gorgi did, finally he actually ended up coming to Eretz Yisrael in 1911, where many of the people will come at that point in time, and he would settle once again inside the Bukhari neighborhood in Eretz Yisrael over there, and many of the community will actually come there at that point in time. There was a closeness at that stage in time. He would work as a mohel when he came to Eretz Yisrael, a rabbi that would perform spiritual circumcision, circumcision, not spiritual circumcision for babies. He would be very well traveled. He would go to various places, doing various different mitzvah missions in of itself. He would teach, educate the young generations from many people of the communities from Persia, Bukhara, and Afghanistan. For anyone's thinking, what is the noise in the background at the moment? I'm just recording this about half an hour before Shabbat. So they put songs on before Shabbat here in Israel to, let's say, prepare everyone that Shabbat is coming soon, to get your final preparations ready for Shabbat. So sorry about just the noise in the background. If it's so he would really be concentrating on educating people from that moved from made Aliyah from Iran, from Bukhara, from Afghanistan. And I think he passed away on a Friday evening, and or Friday in Erev Shabbat. And I think it was when he was actually coming to teach, educate in Torah, when he sadly had passed away at that stage in time. We're talking about Rabbi Yosef Gorgi, one of the relations of the great rabbis, Rabbi Shmuel Gorgi, who happened to speak his Hilula today over here. So just a few extra things to say within regards to, so I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, within regards to Rabbi Yosef Gorgi, he would print a book called the Edut B'Yosef, which is various perushim and drashot on the book of Tehillim, Psalms. And I think it would actually come out when he came to Eretz Yisrael in 1926. I think in Rabbi Yosef Gorgi's memory, a Beit Midrash called the Tiferet Yosef in the Bukhari neighborhood is actually established in Jerusalem. Very interesting. So we're just speaking, diversing a bit within regards to the Gorgi family itself. We happen to be speaking about Rabbi Shmuel Gorgi today because it marks his Hilula, the great rabbi. Passed away in 1929. We're talking about 96 years ago here from the recording. Let's explore a few of the highlights and teachings from his book called Shmuel. And I think in page number 95, if I'm not mistaken, it was printed, I think, in 1903. He teaches, this is one of the teachings. Got another teaching, I think, comes from page 121 in Amud Aleph, if I'm not mistaken. Another teaching he would give, I think, from page number 28, states over, talking about the third Bet HaMikdash, it comes without fighting. Another teaching he gives, I think the Haimi website using as a source of it, in page number 94, just by educating one of the children in Talmud Torah, it's going to give blessing to all the children. Another last teaching over here from his writings, the Haimi website gives from page 93. This is another one of his teachings. There are more, just to tempt everyone over here. On page 97, it states over, once again from the Minchat Shmuel, this is another one of his teachings over here, and very interesting. We're speaking about the great rabbi over here from Afghanistan, Rabbi Shmuel Gorgi, here on this special edition, because it's going to mark his Hilula here on the 5th of Cheshvan, and much is reported over. I actually strongly recommend everyone to look at the afghani.co.il website, because it really chronicles over many of the great rabbis that actually came from Afghanistan. There's excellent articles. It also talks about the various different philanthropists on this particular website in of itself, and talks about the various different great rabbis they did, and about the festivals. There's so much actually related over. And they talk about the various different Sfarim that would actually hail from Afghanistan. There's various great rabbis like Mullah Eliyahu Barachel Elias. There's great families in of itself, great personalities. The Efrati family, for example, I think was a famous family over there. Rab Mullah Shmuel Betzalel, for example, and so on and so forth. Yaakov Betzalel, great people from Afghanistan. Harav Rafael Betzalel. in of itself. They've got loads of articles on those great rabbis. Another famous rabbi we did speak about was Mola Abba Jol, you could say also. So there's no shortage of great information, and I strongly recommend everyone to look more about the great rabbis of yesteryear. Now, friends, we are a community here. We're learning about the great Oriental Middle Eastern rabbis of yesteryear. We happen to be speaking about famous Afghanistani Rabbi Shmuel Gorgi here, because it marks his Hilula over here today on the 5th of Cheshvan. Now, friends over here, if you feel anyone is interested in watching any of these videos on this channel, please share these videos to other people also, and tell other people to join our fantastic community over here, where we've already recorded about 1,350 biography videos of great rabbis of yesteryear. So please, everyone, subscribe to the channel in of itself. And I'm recording this just for Shabbat over here in the city of in Bet Shemesh, respectively, over here in the city of Bet Shemesh over here. So just recording this just before Shabbat Parashat Noach over here. So very, very interesting. I recommend everyone at this point in time, please, pray in the synagogue, do a great amount of mitzvot, bring in the Shabbat in a few minutes extra early, and learn more about the great rabbis of yesteryear over here. We've spoken already in this series, probably about 12 to 15 rabbis that were great in Afghanistan of yesteryear. So that I would strongly recommend everyone to look over those previous videos we recorded. If you go into the Stories of Tzaddikim section on this channel, you will see and learn more about these great rabbis. But he passed away 96 years ago. Rabbi Shmuel Gorgi, Zecher Tzaddik Livracha. Please, everyone, once again, subscribe to the channel and join our community, and have a fantastic day. Wish you all a Shabbat Shalom Vrach. Take care, and appreciate everyone watching and all the fantastic feedback. Thank you very much, and have a